Balloons that said one scraped the ceiling fan. The living room smelled like vanilla and new plastic from the dollar store tablecloths. I had a smashed cake with pink frosting that said Megan in careful script. My sister Brittany walked in 20 minutes late with her 2 boys and a grocery store cake in a flimsy box. She didn't even look at our table. She looked at my mom, who was already there, then at me. Mom said, "This party is for all the grandchildren, not just yours," Brittany announced. Loud enough for my neighbors to hear, with the door still open. She set her box right next to my cake. Before I could say anything, she slid my cake to the side, snapped the lid off hers, and lit 5 candles for her son. His birthday was last month. People started singing. Some of them laughed like it was cute. My mom stood next to Brittany, hands on hips, nodding. "Share," she said, looking right at me. That's what good mothers do. It felt like dropping an armful of glass. I couldn't feel my hands, just a cold buzzing up my arms. Megan was in her high chair, blinking at the sudden noise, bottom lip already wobbling. I looked at my husband, Nate. He took a step forward and then stopped when my mom turned her head like a trigger. I picked up Megan. I didn't argue, I didn't fight over frosting. I slipped her little shoes on with my thumbs still shaking, grabbed the diaper bag, and walked out the front door. It was Pennsylvania in March, that wet chill that sneaks into your sleeves. I put Megan in her car seat and buckled her as my breath kept catching. On my phone, I opened the family group chat. Our last photo in there was a sonogram of my cousin's baby. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I typed, "The party is over. Please leave my house now." I hit send at 2:11 p.m. Through the front window, I could see faces turning toward their screens. A beat, then chair scraping. A teenager unplugging the Bluetooth speaker. My aunt putting coats on the littles. By 2:22 p.m., the driveway was empty except for my mom's car and Brittany's minivan. My mom stood on my porch with her arms crossed. I stayed in the car with my daughter, who had started to hiccup cry, and let my hands go still around the steering wheel. I'm 34, Pennsylvania. I manage grant budgets for a public health nonprofit. That means I make spreadsheets and watch the numbers down to the penny all day. At home, I'm married to Nate, who teaches middle school science. We live in a brick bungalow with a sagging porch swing we keep promising to fix. Our daughter Megan just turned 1. She is small and observant, and when she smiles, she goes all in like it surprises even her. My mom is 57 and loud. She and my dad split when I was in college. My sister Brittany is 31 and lives 15 minutes away with her 2 boys. Her job situation changes every few months. Sometimes she walks dogs. Sometimes she sells makeup on Facebook. Everyone in our family knows I'm the one with her life together. My mom has said that exact sentence at Thanksgiving, while tapping my shoulder like good luck was a faucet she could turn on and off. When my mom's car insurance went up last year, I added her to my policy because it's cheaper that way. It added $120 to my monthly bill. When her kitchen flooded, I paid $8,732.19 for new cabinets and a contractor because she didn't have the credit. When Brittany's rent was short a few times, I Zelled $600, then $400, then $1,000. $100, just until the tax refund hits. I have a recurring weekly transfer set from my mom for groceries and gas. It's $150 every Friday. I said it and told myself it was kindness. I put her as an authorized user on my credit card for emergencies. I keep a log and notes on my phone. Date, amount, reason. I told myself it's fine because spreadsheets make things safe. The balance you can see is the control you have. I also pay for family things. Last summer, I bought a Grandparent Plus Zoo membership under my name for $279 so my mom could take the kids whenever. I booked a Myrtle Beach house for June as a surprise because our family hasn't had a vacation in years. The deposit was $3,450 to hold it. The final $3,450 was due in May. I put the confirmation in a folder called Family Plans and felt proud of the girl who could make nice things happen. While I spent I learned to swallow small hurts. First Christmas after Megan was born, my mom handed out matching red plaid pajamas to the real grandbabies and skipped us. They didn't have her size, she said, not looking at me. Easter. They lined the grandkids up in a row, and my mom said, "We'll get some with just the cousins." "Oh, you can wait with the stroller, honey." Someone shut the door, and I stood on Brittany's cold porch holding Megan's bottle, listening to laughter through the wall. At Brittany's older boy's 5th birthday, Megan fell asleep in the carrier, and I asked if there was a quiet room I could put her in. My mom said, "The entry is fine. We'll keep an eye." People walked in and out right next to her head for 40 minutes while they cut cake in the kitchen. After, my mom posted 50 pictures on Facebook. In one of them, Megan's face is half in the frame, bottom corner, cheeks flushed, no caption. Once I tried to say something small. I had paid the basketball registration fee for Brittany's younger one, $210 on my debit card. The next day, my mom posted a Grandkids Day collage. She used the zoo passes I bought to take the boys and my cousin's daughter. She didn't invite us. When I asked, she said it was last minute. Besides, you're busy. These boys need experiences. I said, Megan is a kid too. She stared at me like I'd said water was dry. "She's still a baby," she said. "She won't remember. Don't be sensitive." I'm not a martyr. I'm just practiced. I tell myself not to make money emotional. I tell myself to pick my battles. I tell myself they love Megan, just not in loud, organized ways. I kept paying deposits and booking houses and buying passes because it felt like building a bridge no one could ignore. They might not print her name on matching shirts, but they would show up if there was a house at the beach with clean sheets and a code on the door. 2 weeks before Megan's birthday, I showed my mom the invitation I made on Canva. I kept it small. I said, "Just us cake too." She said, "We'll see." I ignored how my stomach rolled at that. Then she forwarded a text from Brittany. "Can we do the candles for the boys too? It'll save time." Mom replied, "Of course. Sharing is caring." I typed, "It's Megan's first." Then I deleted it. I told myself it was noise. I kept going to Target for plates and napkins and tiny party hats with soft elastic that wouldn't scratch her neck. I set my phone to do not disturb the night before so I wouldn't read anything unkind. They say you teach people how to treat you. That Saturday, I stood in my own doorway and watched my mom teach me again. Good daughters share everything, even the only cake with your baby's name on it, and don't make a fuss. I had trained them that I would fix, fund, and forgive. I had trained them that my kid was optional. It took 11 minutes for me to see it clearly. I sat in the driver's seat with Megan holding my finger and hiccuping herself into quiet. The Bluetooth connected by itself, and someone inside accidentally hit play on the birthday playlist. The first notes of You Are My Sunshine fuzzed through my speakers and then stopped. I stared at the steering wheel and thought I should have known. I ignored the signs. I thought they'd change when it was my child. They didn't. Nate texted, "Are you okay? Want me to clear them out?" I typed back, "Already did. Please bring my purse." He came out a minute later with my purse, the smash cake still in its box, and a look that said a lot and nothing at the same time. He put the cake on the passenger floor and squeezed my shoulder. "We can do candles later," he said. I nodded. My tongue felt like it was glued to the roof of my mouth. My mom came down the porch steps. She stopped by my open window like she owned the air between us. "You embarrassed Brittany," she said. "You could have shared. He's a child. Be a good mother." I watched my own hands rest still and strange on my knees. "I am," I said. It came out calm and quieter than the wind chimes. I didn't invite a fight. I didn't mention the kitchen cabinets or the insurance or the deposit sitting under a subject line that said Seaside Cottage confirmed. I backed the car down the driveway and waved Nate to follow me. We drove 2 blocks and parked in our cul-de-sac so Megan could finish crying and get a bottle without my mom's face at the glass. While Nate fed Megan, I opened my email. I scrolled until I found it. Airbnb reservation, 977K95. Pelican's Perch, June 10/17. Below the thumbnail of a tan shingled house was the line, "Free cancellation for 60 days before check-in." Today was March 10th. 62 days. I clicked View Details. I read the policy twice. I clicked Cancel Reservation. A warning popped up. "Are you sure? This property is in high demand." It asked if I wanted to message the host. I hit call. A woman named Deborah answered on the second ring with a voice that sounded like someone you'd trust to hand you keys. "Hi, this is Kimberly. I have a reservation for June. Pelican's Perch. I need to cancel," I said. My voice didn't shake. "I'm sorry to hear that," she said. "Is everything okay?" "It will be," I said. "Can you confirm it's a full refund?" "Yes," she said. "You're outside the 60-day window. You'll get an email in a few minutes." "Thank you," I said. I ended the call and watched my inbox refresh. A new email. "Your reservation has been canceled. Full refund $3,450 will be credited to your card ending in 2293. Confirmation hash CN43802. There was a blue button that said View Receipt. I tapped it. I took a screenshot. I put the screenshot in my family plans folder and renamed the folder Megan. I didn't text my mom. Or Brittany. I didn't post anything. I put my phone face down on my knee. The relief came in a small wave, not dramatic. It was just math that finally lined up. If my child isn't welcome as the center of her own first birthday, I won't bankroll a week of pretending she is part of a family that keeps cropping her out. Back at home, the house was too quiet. Nate carried in the smash cake and started packing leftover sandwiches into Tupperware because he always looks for the next helpful thing. I wiped down frosting smudges on the table that my sister's elbow had made when she shoved my cake aside. I put the #1 candle in the drawer by the stove with the bag clips and tape. I stood in the kitchen doorway and took a breath I felt in my ankles. The group chat started pinging as if someone had lifted a dam. First, Brittany. "What the fuck is wrong with you?" My kids were crying. Then my mom. "You humiliated your sister in front of everyone. What kind of example is that?" Then a photo of my nephew's half-blown-out candles, my cake squished to the side, sent by some cousin who couldn't read the room. I didn't respond. I moved laundry from the washer to the dryer. I checked on Megan, who had fallen asleep with her cheek pressed to the crib sheet, mouth open in that slack baby way that makes your chest hurt. I went back to the kitchen and opened my banking app. The pending refund from Airbnb wasn't there yet, but the available credit line looked like a promise. I made one note in my phone under that running log of outgoing help. March 10th, canceled beach house. $3,450 refunded. Reason: not funding a family that erases my kid. Then I made a different kind of note. I wrote word for word what I was going to say the next time somebody told me to share or to be nice or to think of the children. I wrote it the way I run budgets. Simple, repeatable. No room for misinterpretation. I won't fund a family my kid isn't part of. That afternoon, my Ring camera caught my mom knocking and then trying the handle. Nate had turned the deadbolt. She called 5 times. I let it go to voicemail. Brittany texted in rapid fire. "You're dramatic? You always think you're better. Mom said you're controlled by Nate. My kids don't understand why Auntie is mean." Then a screenshot of a beach supply list with a crying emoji. I sent one text to the group. "I canceled the beach house. You'll receive your own confirmation if you paid anything to me. I won't be hosting or paying for group events anymore. I won't fund a family my kid isn't part of. Seen by everyone." 3 dots appeared from Brittany and then disappeared. My mom called again. I let it go to voicemail and then listened. "Kimberly, this is your mother. You don't punish children. Share your blessings. God doesn't like ugly. Call me." At 4 p.m., my Aunt Karen pulled up and sat in her car for a minute before coming to the door. She didn't knock. She texted Nate. "Want me to take some leftovers?" He opened the door, and we handed her containers and 2 bags of napkins through the gap. She didn't make a speech. She just said, "Happy birthday, baby girl," in the direction of the hallway and left. Later, she sent me a message that said, Proud of you. Should have been proud of you sooner. I stared at those words, like they were a new piece of furniture in a familiar room. Sunday, my mom showed up again with a grocery sack and a face that said she'd practiced being firm in the mirror. "You're not serious about the beach," she started on the porch. "We need that week. The boys need the ocean. You can be mad all you want, but you don't take from children." She wasn't talking about Megan. I stepped onto the porch and shut the door behind me so Megan's nap wouldn't be broken. "I'm not mad," I said. "I'm done. I'm not funding a family my kid isn't part of." I repeated it exactly. Clean, like a policy. "You always think you're so cold," my mom said. "Nate put you up to this. He's stingy." "He didn't," I said. "I canceled the house." "Then uncancel it," she said. "You have money. Stop acting like you don't." "I have a daughter," I said. "Stop acting like I don't!" She flinched like I'd thrown something. Then she recovered and tried a sad voice. "You'll regret this when we're gone." I didn't say what came into my head. "I regret letting you make my baby small, even for a day." I only said, "Mom, you taught me to share. So here's something to share back. You're not on my accounts. You're not in my plans. You can love Megan loud, or you can love her quiet and far away. But I won't pay to sit at a table where she's not counted." She left the grocery sack on the porch. It had off-brand paper towels and instant pudding. It felt like a prop. I put it by the pantry and forgot it for 2 days. Over the next week, the calls and texts slowed. My cousin Amber texted me a screenshot of the group chat I wasn't in. Brittany writing paragraphs about ungrateful sisters. My mom sending a Bible verse about forgiveness. A few people liking, and then unliking things when they realized someone could see. Amber wrote, "My kid asked why Megan wasn't in the cake video. Kids notice. We're with you. Do you want us to come by next weekend?" I wrote back, "Yes, bring a candle." At work, I kept moving numbers from column to column and telling myself that money is not love and budgets are not boundaries, but they can hold one. I checked my card. The $3,450 hit. I moved it to savings and renamed the account Megan's. I stopped opening any text that started with, "But the boys." Midweek, Brittany left a voicemail. "Fine, we won't go to the beach. Can you at least send the boys their Easter baskets? They're used to yours." I sat in the parking lot at Kroger, holding my keys, and let that sentence pass through me. I imagined Megan in a sun hat, the ocean behind her, sand stuck to her wrists. Then I pictured those boys blowing out my daughter's candles, their grandmother nodding. I put my keys in the ignition and drove home. The next Saturday, we did a do-over. I taped 2 paper crowns to the wall. I put the #1 candle on the table next to the smash cake that still had Megan across it in pink cursive. Amber came with her little girl. Our neighbor's twins toddled over with their mom. Nate grilled hot dogs in a hoodie. I set 2 extra folding chairs on the porch in case my mom or Brittany decided to come anyway. The wind played with the streamers. No one else pulled up. We sang for Megan. She blinked at the sound and then grinned like she suddenly remembered how. She smacked her hand into the frosting and then looked at me to see if it was okay. "It's all for you," I said. She made a sound that was almost a laugh and then smeared pink across her cheek. Amber's daughter handed Megan a card she had made with a crayon sun in the corner, and Megan is 1-inch wobbly block letters. I put it on the fridge with a magnet shaped like Ohio. When I opened the freezer to get ice, I saw the grocery sack my mom had left and moved it to the pantry without a second thought. We didn't need it. After cake, we walked to the little park at the end of our street. Nate pushed Megan in a baby swing while I sat on the bench and let the sun hit my face. There were 3 empty swings next to her. I didn't feel rage or triumph. I felt like the air was thinner and easier to breathe. That night, after Megan fell asleep, I sat at the kitchen table with the email from Airbnb open again, the blue full refund processed line bright in the white. I clicked over to our bank and set up an automatic transfer once a month, $50 to the account labeled Megan's. I named the memo line Beach Someday. Maybe it would be sand between her toes next year. Maybe at 7, when she'd remember the shape of the day. It didn't matter. We'd go when the people around her saw her with both eyes. Before I went to bed, I took the tiny pink crown that had slid off her hair during dinner and put it on the top shelf by the mugs. It looked silly there, like a joke inside our routine, a small promise tucked where I'd see it every morning. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a message from my mom. "Ready to talk?" I typed back. "The boundary stands. I won't fund a family my kid isn't part of. We can see you here. Just you. Just us. No other kids. Let's start at our table." She didn't reply. That was okay. I poured coffee under the pink crown. Megan banged a wooden spoon on the high chair and looked up at me like I was the whole stage. I smiled back like I had the budget for that.